I'd like to welcome you to Galway and say Assalamu alaikum to all of you. It's just two general questions I would like you to elaborate for the sake of people in general. First thing is, as a Muslim, I understand but people don't, the role of suicide.
The role of suicide?
Yes, as what you call suicide bombers.
Yes.
They seem to think that suicide bombers are doing that they're going to go to heaven. I'm sick and tired of telling them there's no such place that exists. Islam does not allow anybody to take human life. And secondly, the role of Muslims in general society, that we do not, under any circumstances, preach hatred towards fellow mankind. Now, would you like to elaborate on those two, please? Thank you.
Well, thank you very much for these two questions. Both are very important and very elaborate questions. Especially the second one will require some explanation, but I will try to be very brief. The first question is about the role of the people who claim that they are committing, whether they say it or not, but they are committing suicide through suicide bombers, and they believe or they claim that they are going to end up in heaven. I would say that if we see the Islamic teachings, it's very, very clear. There is not a iota of doubt about it, that Islam, first of all, does not permit anybody to take the life of other people. That's so categorically clear. The one who kills is a great sin which one commits, and nowhere it is allowed to take the life of other people. The second is that life is generally believed, and this is the fact, it's a great trust of God, it's a great blessing of God which has been entrusted to us. We are simply the custodian of our life, not the owners of our life. So in that case, we have to look after our life and not to tamper with that. As such, taking one's own life is also prohibited, and this suicide is not permitted in Islam. So now these two things are combined in such activity of suicide bombers. They intend and practically they kill other people. That is one thing. Second is they take their own life. That is the second thing which is prohibited. So two prohibited things are done together by those people who are committing this suicide, self-suicide. And these suicide bombers, how can, in spite of these two things, can believe that they are going to end up in heaven? I don't see any reason or any logic behind it. And moreover, this is nowhere mentioned there, that these people who will be doing this sort of things, they are going to be end up in heaven like this, they would be rewarded for that. After committing two crimes, very big crimes, both of them, how can they expect such a thing? That is not right. But sometime I think one saying of the Holy Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam, the Holy Prophet of Islam, is misquoted, or it is quoted out of context or in part. That is perhaps what is the reason of this misunderstanding which is so commonly mentioned in the media nowadays. It says at the end that the paradise lies under the shade of the swords. That is the wording, the translation of that one. But the wrong thing is that this part of the quotation is taken out of context. The Prophet of Islam was instructing his followers, giving an elaborate guidance that what should be your attitude against other people. He said in the beginning, first part of this very saying, that you never ever wish to be confronting with your enemies, because to indulge in war is not something good. Either some other people, those who come into the battlefield, they would be killed, or some of your own people would have to lay down their lives. So both things are not good. So never ever, he said, in the first place, you wish for any confrontation with your enemy. But when it happens, and remember that this is the only occasion where taking up the weapon is permitted in Islam, when actually the Muslims are attacked. When the opponents are there attacking the Muslims, Islam does give the permission to Muslims to defend themselves. This taking up of sword in defense is no doubt permissible in Islam. But is there anybody who would say that this is something wrong? If you are sitting in your home, somebody comes in and wants to kill you, would you be sitting idle there? Would you be welcoming that person? That please come in and do your job? Everybody would say that I would try my best to defend myself. Because if he wants to take my life, I have the right of self-defense. So he would immediately do whatever is possible for him. Result could be anything, whether he dies or the other person dies. But he would at least do whatever is possible for him. And that is the right of self-defense which Islam has upheld. So in that case, when Muslims are attacked, they are allowed to fight back in that case. So this was the thing he was saying, that first you never wish that there should be a fight between you and other people. But when it happens in these given circumstances, then he says, then fasbutu, then you fight up a very strong battle against your enemies. Because then you will be doing a good job. Because you will be defending your faith, defending your life, defending your honor, and nothing could be better than that. And then finally he said that if you are involved in that defensive battle, and it comes to that the enemy overpowers you, and you have to lay down your life, you have to sacrifice your life. In that case, because you are indulged in a noble pursuit at that matter, then you remember, then definitely the paradise lies under the shade of the swords. In that case, not always that you just without any reason, rhyme or reason, you take up your gun, take up your sword and go out and start killing the people. And then you imagine that you are going to be received there with honor. Never. That is totally a very bad example of twisting the beautiful teachings of Islam, and Islam has nowhere approved of that. The second question is, what is the role of Muslims? Well, it's a very big question to answer. I would say that particularly in the current situation, when Islam is being tarnished as a result of the continuous propaganda coming to our homes through the media, Islam's beautiful image is being tarnished. And lot of misunderstandings are there, which are spread without any proof, without any reason, without any logic. As I just gave you one example, how things are taken out of context, how messages are twisted, and then they are put that this is the message of Islam. And very, very unfortunately, sometimes the media people are able to pick up certain people from among Muslims, or I should say so-called Muslims, who go to the media and then they present the same thing which they wish these people to be saying. And as a result of that, misunderstanding upon misunderstanding is there, and the beautiful name of Islam is being tarnished like that. So I would say the role of the Muslim in this background should be that first of all, they should be always ready to defend the cause of Islam by their good example, by their noble etiquettes, by their behavior, by their kindness to their neighbors, to the friends in society, to the people in general. They should make a good example for people to look at them. And secondly, they should speak out, they should write to the media, they should participate, they should tell their friends, neighbors, colleagues and other people to know that all these things which are attributed to Islam, they are actually not right. So these are the 2 points which are very important for Muslims to show to the people. Otherwise, this misunderstanding is going to further deepen, and the results may not be desirable at the end, because polarization will take place and people will be having a very bad image about Islam, and that will be far from the truth. So the role and the duty of the Muslim in this age is that each one of them should really become a true ambassador of the teachings of Islam, and by their good example they should make it clear to the people that Islam is not like that. In our Ahmadiyya Muslim community, I may mention by the grace of Allah that we have been holding such meetings as we are holding it today in so many places, in length and breadth of the country. Time and again, every now and then, such meetings take place where our invited respectable guests, they come and they have the opportunity of asking questions and listening to our thoughts. Whenever these people come, they go back with a better understanding of Islam, and we hope and wish that they should become our spokesman to the people around them, and carry this message, whether the reports of these functions they come in the press or not. But at least those people who come here, I'm very sure that if they think over what is being told to them, they would definitely get a better image about Islam, and that will be something good for them as well. Because otherwise, if a person without knowing something is continuously going into that misunderstanding, then he may at a certain stage do something wrong. So the role of the Muslim, I would further emphasize, is that they should be a living example of the peaceful teachings of Islam, and nothing could be greater service for a Muslim than this one.